Hello friends, this is me, your host. Welcome back to our I hope you all are well and doing great. So today I'm back with another video to give a review on three books which are all about science, fiction and nature. So the first one which we're going to see today is the Big Book of the Ocean by Sona. So first we have an introduction. The ocean is one of the greatest mysteries of our planet, covering more than two-thirds of Earth's surface. It remains largely unexplored, with countless secrets hidden in its depths. The Big Book of the Ocean by Sona is an ambitious attempt to bring this vast, awe-inspiring world closer to children and families. Written with clarity and passion, and filled with stunning illustrations, the book serves both as an educational tool and a source of wonder. Unlike traditional textbooks that may intimidate or overwhelm young readers, this book invites them in with warmth, curiosity, and visual appeal. It is designed as part of the Big Book series where each title introduces children to a broad yet approachable subject. In this case, the ocean becomes not just a topic to study but an adventure to experience. This extending review will cover the book in detail, its design, content, educational impact, style, and lasting significance. So that readers can fully appreciate why the Big Book of the Ocean is such a valuable contribution to children's literature. Structure and layout. The book is presented in an oversized format, immediately signaling that it's meant to be explored, not just read. Children can spread it upon the floor, flip through its large pages, and get lost in the colors and drawings. Each spread feels like a window into a new part. Into a new part of the ocean. One page may introduce playful dolphins, while the next plunges into the eerie world of deep sea creatures. The layout is carefully balanced. Text blocks are short, digestible, and often accompanied by small captions or fact bubbles. Illustrations dominate the pages, making the book feel more like an art expensive than a lecture. Themes are grouped logically, beginning with broad topics like layers of the ocean and moving towards specific creatures and ecosystems. This structure ensures the book can be read cover to cover or dipped into at random. Children might choose to read about sharks one day and coral reefs the next, without losing coherence. Themes and coverage. The strength of the big book of the ocean lies in its breadth. Sona does not limit the book to a single category of marine life, but instead offers a panoramic view of the underwater world. Major themes include the ocean layers. The book explains the different zones of the ocean: the sunlit zone, the twilight zone, and the midnight zone. These sections provide context, showing children how light, temperature, and pressure change with depth and why certain animals live where they do. Marine mammals. Whales, dolphins, seals, and sea lions are presented not only as fascinating creatures but also as essential parts of the ocean ecosystem. Facts such as the size of a blue whale's heart or the intelligence of dolphins spark awe and curiosity. Fish and sharks. Sona introduces a variety of fish species, including both friendly-looking reef fish and the powerful, misunderstood shark. The book carefully balances fascination with reassurance, emphasizing emphasizing that while sharks are important predators, they are not the monsters often portrayed in media. Invertebrates and smaller creatures. Jellyfish, crabs, starfish, and cephalopods like squid and octopuses highlight the diversity of ocean life. The unique survival strategies such as camouflage, bioluminescence, and regeneration are explained in ways that children can easily understand. Coral reefs. Cold, the rainforests of the sea, coral reefs receive special attention. The book describes their role as home to countless species, their dazzling beauty, and the threats they face from pollution and climate changes. Conservation messages. Without being overly heavy or frightening, the book introduces young readers to the idea that oceans are fragile. Sona discusses pollution, overfishing, and endangered animals in a hopeful, empowering way, encouraging children to care for the planet. Writing style. Sona writes with enthusiasm, clarity, and accessibility. The sentences are short, lively, and often carry an element of surprise. Instead of simply saying whales are large, she gives comparisons like describing the size of a whale's heart or the weight of its tongue. Instead of presenting data dryly, she frames it as a fun fact, a secret, or a discovery. This style transforms learning into play. Children feel like explorers uncovering hidden truths, not students memorizing facts. Additionally, the book introduces scientific terms gently. Words like plankton, bioluminescence, or ecosystem are included, but always explained in context, allowing young readers to build vocabulary naturally. Visual appeal and illustrations. The illustrations are arguably that most striking element of the book. They are bold, colorful, and rich in detail, balancing accuracy with charm, while animals are realistically, deliberately, deliberately Key strengths of the illustrations include color palettes that reflect ocean life, vivid blues, turquoises, and corals. They are bold, colorful, and rich in detail, balancing accuracy. Scale representation showing readers just how enormous or tiny certain creatures are. Dynamic scenes that capture action, schools of fish swimming, dolphin leaping, or jellyfish glowing in the dark. The visual storytelling makes the ocean come alive. This visual storytelling makes the ocean come alive, ensuring even pre-readers can engage with the book. Educational value. For an educational perspective, the Big Book of the Ocean accomplishes several goals. Knowledge building. Children learn about biology, ecology, and geography in a natural, enjoyable way. Skill development. Reading comprehension, vocabulary, and observation skills are enhanced. Curiosity stimulation. The format encourages questions like why do jellyfish glow or how do whales talk to each other. Strengths. Environmental awareness. By gently introducing conservation, the book instills empathy and responsibility at an early age. Teachers and parents can use the book as a springboard for activities such as classrooms, discussions, art projects, or science experiments. Strengths. Engaging visuals that capture children's imagination, accessible writing style, that makes learning funny, and wide coverage of creatures, ecosystems, and concepts, encouragement of curiosity through fun facts, environmental awareness without being overwhelming. Reader impact. For children, this book is magical. It opens the door to the mysteries of the sea in a safe and exciting way. For parents, it is an educational resource that encourages learning through curiosity. For teachers, it is a classroom companion that can support lessons in science, geography, and environmental studies. Even adults flipping through its pages may find themselves surprised by new facts or charmed by the illustrations. Conclusion. The Big Book of the Ocean is by Sona is far more than a picture book. It is an invitation to dive into the depths of the sea and discover its wonders. Through its stunning illustrations, lively writing, and broad coverage of topics, it succeeds in making the ocean accessible, engaging, and unforgettable for young readers. It, sta- it stands out as a book that entertains while educating. Sparks imagination while building knowledge and introduces conservation in a hopeful and empowering way. For families, classrooms, or libraries, this book is a must have. It has the power to inspire the next generation. of ocean lovers, scientists, and environmental advocates. The next book which we're going to see today in this video also about the science fiction and nature, and this is Raising Hare by Chloe Dalton. Introduction. Raising Hare by Chloe Dalton is a remarkable work of non-fiction that blends memoir, cultural history, natural observation, and myth into a deeply personal exploration of human-animal connection. Shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Non-Fiction, the book distinguishes itself not only through its lyrical prose but also through its unusual subject, the hare. In the book, Dalton recounts her experience hand-rearing a leveret, a baby hare, while simultaneously navigating her own journey of motherhood. This intimate act of care becomes a focal point of a wider meditation on what it means to nurture, to let go, and to live alongside creatures that resist domestication. The hare, with its long history of myth and folklore, serves as both a real, fragile animal in Dalton's home and a symbol through which she reflects on life, death, freedom, and belonging. The structure of the book. Dalton structures the book around her personal encounters with the hare, weaving together memoir, her own story of raising children and a wild animal side by side, side by side, nature writing, observations of hare behavior, biology, and wildness, cultural history, the hare's place in folklore, mythology, and literature. Cultural history, the hare's place in folklore, mythology, and literature. Reflection, philosophical explorations of care, independence, and the boundaries of between species. Species. This layered approach allows the book to function on a multiple levels. Readers may approach it as a moving personal memoir, a natural history of hares, or a cultural study of animal symbolism, and find all three seamlessly blended. Memoir and motherhood. At the heart of raising Hare is Dalton's act of caring for a leveret, unlike domesticated rabbits. Hares are wild, solitary, and almost impossible to tame. Raising one is captivity is both a privilege and a burden. As Dalton quickly discovers, she feeds it, shelters it, and protects it. But she also confronts the limits of her care. The parallels with her experience of motherhood are carefully drawn as she tends to her children, nurturing them, setting boundaries, and preparing them to move independently through the world. She reflects on the similarities and differences in raising a human child versus a wild creature. Both require care, patience, and love, whereas children are meant to remain within the human family, the hare belongs to the wild. This tension between holding on and letting go becomes one of the most powerful themes in the book. Dalton captures the bittersweet beauty of caregiving, that to nurture properly often means to release. The hare as a cultural symbol. Dalton does not limit her writing to personal experience. She draws on centuries of cultural history to show how the hare has always fascinated humanity. Across mythologies, hares are associated with fertility and rebirth, linked to the moon, spring, and cycles of life. Trickery and liminality, appealing as exclusive, shape shifting figures in folklore, mystery and magic, and Celtic and pagan traditions. The hare is often a guide between worlds. By situating her own hare within this wider symbolic framework, Dalton gives her story resonance beyond the personal. The reader is reminded that every encounter with the natural world is part of a much larger cultural and historical tapestry. Tapestry, nature writing and observation. Like the best nature writers, Helen MacDonald, Kathleen Jamie, or Barry Lopez, Dalton has a gift for close observation. She describes the hare's twitching nose, lightning fast leaps, and nervous energy with precision and tenderness. Her language captures both the beauty and fragility of the animal, but she also resists the temptation to sentimentalize Unlike a pet, the hare remains fundamentally unknowable. Dalton emphasizes its wildness, reminding the reader that some creatures cannot be folded into domestic life without cost. In this way, the hare functions as a mirror. It reflects back our human desire to control and care, while also showing us the limit of our reach. Themes of care and letting go. One of the central themes of raising hare is the paradox of caregiving. True love sometimes requires detachment. For Dalton, raising the leveret is an act of devotion but also an exercise in humility. She cannot keep the hare forever. It must eventually return to its world. This idea resonates strongly with the experience of parenthood. Every parent knows the ache of preparing a child for independence, of letting go while still holding on emotionally. Darton's memoir, therefore, transcends its immediate subject matter, speaking to anyone who has cared for another living being. Style and language. Dalton's prose is lyrically yet precise. She balances evocative description with clear-eyed observation, avoiding both excessive sentimentality and dry scientific detachment. Her style is intimate. She often writes as though in conversation with the reader, yet also reflective, encouraging us to pause and think more deeply about the natural world. The rhythm of the writing mirrors the hare itself. Sudden bursts of intensity followed by stillness and quiet reflection. This style choices reinforces the subject matter beautifully. Conservation and environmental awareness. Though not overtly polemical, the book carries a subtle ecological message. Dalton draws attention to the fragility of hares in the modern landscape, where habitat loss, hunting, and climate change threaten their survival. By telling her personal story, she invites reader to care about the species and by extension the natural world. This gentle form of advocacy through storytelling rather than argument argument is one of the book's greatest strengths. Readers are moved not by statistics but by the lived reality of a caring for a single vulnerable creature. Conclusion. Raising Hare is a moving, thought provoking, and beautifully written exploration of what it means to live alongside other species, to care without possession, and to recognize the limits of human control. Chloe Dalton has crafted a book that is at once intimate and expansive, personal and universal. Its place on the Women's Prize for non-fictional shortlist is well deserved, for it exemplifies the best qualities of contemporary nature writing, blending science, memoir, myth, and philosophy into a single cohesive narrative. Ultimately, raising hare is not just about one woman raising a hare. It is about the delicate balance between care and freedom, love and release, presence and absence. It reminds us that our connections with the natural world are fragile, fleeting, and precious. So here we have our last book in this video, which we're going to see today about the science fiction and nature, which is Don't Guess 100 Fermi Questions to Improve Your Thinking, Maths, Estimation Skills by D.T.N. Introduction, a book of the age for the age of uncertainty. In an era defined by overflowing data, statistics, and sometimes misleading numbers, the ability to reason with quantities has never been more critical. Has never been more critical. DTN's estimate Don't Guess addresses this very challenge by receiving a neglected but powerful intellectual habit. The subtitle 100 Family Questions to Improve Your Thinking, Math, and Estimation Skills signals its dual nature. It is at once a playful puzzle book, a practical skills manual, and a quiet manifesto about how to think. While most math books either drill arithmetic present or present abstract proofs, this volume grounds itself in real world puzzles that can be tackled with logic, approximation, and creativity, even when precise data is absent. This review explores the book's philosophy, content, and impact in detail. Along the way, I will highlight simple problems, draw comparisons with similar works, and reflect on its application in education, careers, and everyday decision making. Historical roots, the Fermi problem, tradition. The term Fermi problem originates from physicist Enrico Fermi, often celebrated not only for his contributions to nuclear physics but also for his methodical problem-solving style. Fermi had a reputation for making quick, surprisingly accurate estimates of complex situations. During the Manhattan Project, he famously dropped pieces of paper into the air after an atomic test to gauge the strength of the explosion, observing how far they shifted. This method embodies the principle behind the book, breaking big problems into smaller ones. Use reasonable assumptions, multiply or divide in steps to reach an order of magnitude result. Accept approximation, not perfection. But turning this mindset into 100 exercises, DTN places readers in Fermi's intellectual image. Structure of the book. While the book contains 144 pages, its central design in its straightforward 100 problems, each a self-contained Fermi question. Most can be approached without advanced mathematics, required only multiplication, division, and logical decomposition. The problem likely fall into themed categories. Everyday quantities. How many cups of coffee are consumed in New York City each day? How many minutes of phone calls happen worldwide in 24 hours? Physical world and nature. How many grains of sand are on a beach 1 kilometer long? How much sunlight hits a typical house roof in a year? Society and human behavior. How many photos are uploaded daily to the internet? How many school buses would it take to evacuate a city of 1 million? Science and engineering. How many atoms are in breath of air? How many solar panels would it take to power a small town? This diversity ensures that skill of estimation is transferable rather than domain specific. Pedagogical power. Why estimation builds thinkers. This book is not only about numbers, it's about reshaping how learners engage with uncertainty. Its educational strengths include cognitive resilience. Resilience. Students stop panicking when faced with unknowns. Instead, they learn to stay let's figure it out. Step by step. Numeracy. By working repeatedly with magnitudes, learners develop intuition for scale. Example, the difference between thousands and billions. Transferable thinking. Estimation mirrors scientific reasoning, business forecasting, and even daily life problem solving. Confidence. Each problem solved proves that I don't know. That I don't know can be turned into I can estimate. Estimates. Research in educational psychology suggests that productive struggle, grappling with difficult but doable problems, strengthens long term retention. Estimate, don't guess creates exactly that environment. Applications beyond school. The reach of estimation is surprisingly broad. The reach of estimation is surprisingly broad. STEM competitions and Olympiads. Fermi questions appear frequently in physics and science contests. This book is perfect training for high school or university teams. Job interviews, consulting, each consulting tech, finance firms often pose estimation puzzles. How many taxis are in New York? How many tennis balls can fit in an airplane? Practicing with DTN's 100 problems builds fluency for such scenarios. Professional life. Engineers estimates loads and material needs. Doctor estimates dosage, adjustment, and risk probabilities. Entrepreneurs estimate market size before launching products. Everyday life. Planning food for a party. Estimating travel time without GPS. Checking whether a bill, statistic, or claim is reasonable. Thus, the book's benefits extend far beyond students. It can sharpen decision making in all walks of life. Comparison with similar works. To appreciate its place, let's compare estimate, don't guess with other resonance. Guesstimation by Lawrence Winston and John Adam, a more narrative book for adults emphasizing back of the envelope reasoning. DTN's volume is more accessible for middle high scholars. How to Measure Anything by Douglas Hubbard, focused on business decision making and measurement under certainty. More technical, less approachable for younger learners. Let's estimate by David Adler, aimed at children learning simple rounding simple rounding, far less ambitious than DTN's 100 problems. In a sense, estimate don't guess strikes a balance playful enough for young readers, rigorous enough to train adults. So here we have a conclusion in the last the book that DDN's estimate don't guess exceeds in making estimation approachable, fun, and empowering. Its 100 Fermi problems are not trivial exercises, but invitations to think like scientists, engineers, and decision makers. The book's core message that you don't need exact numbers to think clearly resonates deeply in our uncertain world. Whether you are a student preparing for a science fair, a job seeker facing tricking interviews, or simply a curious thinker, this book offers a toolkit for smarter reasoning. In the end, the true gift of the book is not the answers, but the habit of mind it instills. When faced with the unknown, don't guess widely, estimate logically. So this is all we have from this book. I hope you guys like the books, like the message, like the stories of the books. It's all about science fiction and nature. And if you like the book, don't forget to press the like button. And if you have any other suggestion for other books that you wanted to have a review, you can tell me in the comment sections. And if you wanted to buy any one of these books, you can visit our Amazon page, which link is given below, and buy it from there. So I'll be back with another video with another book. Till then, just take care and goodbye.